I would encourage my gay fans to be fighters and to be brave. So I want my life to be a testimony to my gay fans. I mean, I could never imagine what, they're going through. But I know that suicide's never the answer, and I know that things always get better. You guys, I love you very, very much. And for the people who don't love you, they need help. When you ridicule people, it's a sign of your own insecurity.
Now, if I had on a wig, I would want to date myself. That's how happy I am with myself, but I don't.
Are you coming out of the closet?
No. I was just talking.
When will you?
I can't. If there's nothing in the closet, I can't come out with it. But shout out to the gay agency. I do have a gay agency.
The what?
The gay agency. It's a full-on agency that focuses on LGBTQI plus talent. We've been in business for like 2 years, but I do have the gay agency, but I don't indulge, you know what I'm saying? But shout out to the gay agency.
Let me ask you something, Agent.
Okay.
What do you think about the undercover community?
I think that if you roll in undercover, right, there's no need to, because I think the opportunities are endless if the truth can set you free. So if that's what you like to do, that's why we started the gay agency, and that's why I'm an advocate for the gay agency.
You started that?
With Rod and Dumpin' D.
I mean, I can't tell people what to post or what to say. But Nicki Minaj damn sure needs to stay away from anything, posting anything about kids, trans or otherwise. She supports a dude that is on the Epstein list 1,000 times. She's actually married to a registered sex offender, a pedophile. She shouldn't be able to watch Jason Kidd or listen to Kid and Play or New Kids on the Block. Hell, she got to walk around the aisle with Cabbage Patch Kids on it. And she damn sure should stay away from Sour Patch Kids. And it ain't Governor Newsom Nicki needs to be worried about. It's Chris Hansen. I mean, I can't tell people what to post or what to say. But Nicki Minaj damn sure needs to stay away from anything, posting anything about kids, trans or otherwise. She supports a dude that is on the Epstein list 1,000 times. She's actually married to a registered sex offender, a pedophile. She shouldn't be able to watch Jason Kidd or listen to Kid and Play or New Kids on the Block. Hell, she got to walk around the aisle with Cabbage Patch Kids on it. And she damn sure should stay away from Sour Patch Kids. And it ain't Governor Newsom Nicki needs to be worried about. It's Chris Hansen.
Are you gay?
No, sorry.
Do I speak now? Are you gay?
Yeah, so gay.
Are you gay? Oh, yeah. Are you gay?
I am not, but I'm the proud parent of a proud gay son.
Are you gay? Have you met me? Are you gay?
Sadly, no.
I love your shirt.
You think we'll ever have a gay rap artist?
Maybe one day, but that's like, why does that shit matter?
I know.
Like, if he want to fuck dudes or whatever, why does that matter? Like, why do we care?
I've never
like,
figured that out.
that's so fucking crazy, right?
Nicki Minaj says she's protecting children. Hughley says she's the last person who should ever speak on that. And what started as a political opinion quickly turned into one of the most divisive moments of Nicki's entire career, not because of her critics, but because her own fans don't know what to do with her anymore. This wasn't just another celebrity tweet storm. This was a moment that exposed deep fractures in politics, in fandom, and in how people see Nicki Minaj now, because for the first time in a very long time, the Barbs weren't standing shoulder to shoulder, and that alone says everything. It all began with a law most people outside California hadn't even heard of. California, Governor Gavin Newsom signed Assembly Bill 1955, a law that prevents schools from being forced to inform parents if a student chooses a different name or pronoun at school. Supporters argued it was about student safety. Some kids, especially LGBTQ+ youth, don't feel safe disclosing personal identity struggles at home. Forcing teachers to out them could put those kids at risk. On the other side, conservatives framed it as a parental rights issue. They argued parents should know everything about their children's lives. no exceptions. Predictably, the law became a lightning rod in the culture wars almost overnight. But what no one expected was Nicki Minaj stepping directly into the fire and pouring gasoline on it. Nicki didn't just disagree with the law. She went after Gavin Newsom personally. In a tweet that immediately went viral, she mocked him, questioned his motives, and framed the law as some kind of obsession with children's identities. Her wording wasn't careful. It wasn't neutral, and it definitely wasn't soft. She implied that Newsom was running on wanting to see trans kids, and contrasted that with what she called normal adults wanting healthy, happy children. That phrasing alone set off alarms, because suddenly, this wasn't just politics anymore. It was about language and intention. And who felt targeted by it? Longtime fans were confused. Nicki had built a reputation for being openly supportive of the queer community. Her fan base included a massive number of LGBTQ supporters, including trans fans who had defended her for years. And now many of them were asking the same question. When did this change? Some tried to interpret her words generously. Others couldn't ignore how dismissive they sounded. And as that debate was still unfolding, someone else entered the conversation. Someone who had no interest in being gentle, Hughley. DL didn't respond with policy analysis or nuance. He went straight for Nicki's credibility. In a viral clip, he questioned how Nicki could speak about protecting children while being married to a man with a past involving a minor. His comments were sharp, personal, and intentionally provocative. He didn't just disagree with her stance, he attacked her moral authority. And once that clip hit the internet, the conversation completely changed, because now, this wasn't Nicki versus Gavin Newsom. This was Nicki versus Hughley. And by extension, Nicki versus a public narrative she's been fighting for years. The backlash was immediate. Barbs flooded DL's comments, accusing him of clout chasing, dredging up old history, and crossing lines that had nothing to do with the law itself. Others, however, quietly admitted that while DL's delivery was extreme, the contradiction he pointed out was uncomfortable. And that's where things got messy, because usually, when Nicki is under fire, the Barbs move as one. Defense videos, threads, hashtags. This time, something was different. The fan base split. Some fans defended Nicki harder than ever, framing her as a parent speaking from concern, not malice. They accused critics of twisting her words and silencing opinions they didn't like. But another group, including trans Barbs, spoke up publicly, saying they felt hurt, dismissed, and alienated. They weren't canceling her. They weren't attacking her. They were grieving the version of Nicki they thought they knew. And that distinction mattered, because this wasn't hate, it was disappointment. Trans fans pointed out how damaging certain phrases can be, especially when coming from someone with Nicki's influence. Words like normal adults weren't just careless, they felt exclusionary. Some fans said this was the first time they couldn't explain away her comments. And for an artist whose entire brand was built on loyalty, that was a crack that couldn't be ignored. This moment didn't exist in a vacuum either. It came during a period where Nicki has been increasingly vocal about politics, openly supporting Trump and conservative policies that clash with much of her fan base's values. For some fans, this felt like ideological whiplash. For others, it felt like betrayal. And for many, felt like a pattern. Public feuds, rants, clapbacks that escalate instead of cool down. A growing sense that Nicki doesn't just respond to criticism, she fights it like a personal attack. That's why the comparisons started surfacing. People began saying what they were afraid to say out loud. This feels familiar. The erratic posting, the defensiveness, the sense of isolation, the belief that everyone is out to get her. The way criticism turns into enemies. Fans weren't mocking her. They were worried, and that's a crucial difference. When fans start questioning your stability instead of your talent, something has shifted. Nicki's defenders pushed back hard against that narrative, saying she's simply speaking freely in a world that punishes dissent. They argued she's grown, she's successful, and she doesn't owe anyone political alignment. And that's true to a point. But the issue wasn't just what she said, it was how she said it. And who it impacted. Words carry weight, especially when they come from someone whose voice reaches millions. When those words land poorly with the very community that once felt protected by you, the fallout is unavoidable. Meanwhile, Hughley didn't retreat. If anything, he leaned in harder. He refused to walk back a single word, standing firmly behind his comments despite the backlash. To his supporters, he was saying what others were too afraid to say out loud. They praised him for cutting through celebrity worship and calling out what they saw as blatant hypocrisy. In their eyes, this wasn't about disrespect. It was about accountability. But to his critics, DL's stance felt selective. They accused him of moral grandstanding, pointing out his own past controversies and deeply personal family issues that had played out publicly. They questioned how someone with his history could position himself as an authority on protecting children, or judging another person's household. For them, his comments didn't feel brave, they felt opportunistic. And that's where the Es's situation began to spiral into something much bigger than either person involved. The conversation stopped being about policy or even intent. It turned into a mirror maze of accusations and deflections, where every argument was met with a counterargument. And every call for accountability was answered with a reminder of someone else's past. No one was really listening anymore. Everyone was just trying to win. Caught in the middle of all of this was Nicki Minaj, watching in real time as a fan base she once commanded without question began to hesitate. That hesitation didn't look like outrage. It didn't look like mass cancellations or trending hate campaigns. It looked quieter than that, and somehow more painful. Some fans announced they were stepping away, not in dramatic exit posts, but in soft admissions. "I still love her," they said, "but I can't defend this." Others chose to stay, but with boundaries, making it clear that support no longer meant blind agreement. And then there were those who remained fully loyal, refusing to engage with any criticism at all, insisting that questioning Nicki was the real betrayal. But the unity was gone. And once that happens, it's incredibly hard to rebuild, because this was never really about one tweet, or one law, or one comedian's comments that went too far. It was about trust. Trust that Nicki understood the weight of her words. Trust that she still stood with the communities who stood with her when the industry tried to sideline her. Trust that personal growth hadn't quietly turned into something unrecognizable. The uncomfortable truth is that artists evolve, beliefs change, perspectives shift. That alone isn't the problem. The problem is when that change happens without care. When language becomes careless, when criticism starts to feel like persecution, when fans are expected to follow without question instead of being heard. Nicki Minaj is still one of the most influential female rappers of all time. That hasn't changed. Her talent hasn't vanished. Her legacy isn't erased by controversy. But moments like this reshape how people relate to her. And right now, many fans aren't asking whether she's right or wrong anymore. They're asking whether they still recognize her. Because real influence isn't just about speaking loudly or standing your ground. It's about knowing when to listen. And in this moment, that's what feels missing. So the real question isn't whether Nicki Minaj will survive this backlash. She will dot the question is whether she'll reflect on it or double down and keep losing the very people who once defended her without hesitation. And that answer will determine what the next chapter of her career really looks like. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Nicki is just standing firm in her beliefs? Or do you feel like something has shifted in a way that can't be undone? Are you staying or are you stepping back? Let me know what you think.